17-year-old Brittanee Drexel is seen on this security video leaving a hotel in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where she had gone to spend her spring break with her friends in 2009. Nobody at the time realized that this would be the last video of Brittanee ever taken before she abruptly vanished. The case of Brittanee Drexel has long been the subject of conjecture after more than a decade of looking for fake confessions and dead ends. Theories grew wilder and more complicated as the years went by. But 13 years after she was last seen alive, investigators eventually learned the shocking truth about her disappearance and understood the culprit had been standing right in front of them the entire time. What happened to her? How did they find her out after 13 years? Brittanee Drexel, then 17, traveled more than 800 miles from Rochester, New York, where she lived, to the well-known South Carolina beach resort of Myrtle Beach on April 25, 2009. Lying to her parents about her whereabouts and her travel companions. When Brittanee didn't answer John Greco's calls, the police were alerted. An investigation was started and detectives combed through witness accounts and CCTV footage to piece together the 17-year-old's final whereabouts. To meet up with a group of new friends she had made on the trip once at the hotel, Brittanee was last spotted walking to a nearby hotel a mile away, before getting into a fight with one of the females she had traveled with over a pair of borrowed shorts. Brittanee stayed for a little while. The 17-year-old was seen on surveillance footage leaving her friend's hotel and heading back to the Harbor Hotel at 1010 North Ocean Boulevard. Continued to text about the fight until approximately after 9:15 p.m., when she stopped responding. Authorities found her phone had been pinging and traveling down Route 17 close to the boundary between Georgetown County and Charleston County before stopping in a marshy region of the Santee River. The case generated worldwide interest. Brittanee's mother, Dawn Drexel, flew to the region and spent days hanging up flyers and begging passerby for information about the 17-year-old. However, the companion she had traveled with took the brunt of unfounded charges as leads swiftly ran out. Brittanee's adoptive father stated that she had a history of depression, raising concerns about her mental health. 6 years after Brittanee vanished on June 8, 2016, an informer currently serving a 25-year sentence for manslaughter came up to FBI with information he claimed would help with the Brittanee Drexel case. The informant claimed he had information to shed light on where Brittanee could have vanished, but investigators kept searching for any possible leads. Brittanee Drexel's murder was allegedly witnessed by a Quan Brown informant 2 days after Brittanee went missing on April 27, 2009. Taquan told the FBI he went to McLennanville, South Carolina to pay Sean Taylor, a local heroin dealer, at a residence about 60 miles south of Myrtle Beach. One of the guys who reportedly witnessed a woman sexually assaulting a lady in the home who fit Brittanee Drexel's description was Timothy Deshaun Taylor, the drug dealer's 16-year-old son. Taquan claimed that a few days later, when Brittanee tried to flee, the men shot and killed her before wrapping her corpse and throwing it into a marshy area near McLennanville, where her phone was turned off. The alligator ponds in the vicinity were thoroughly examined, but the FBI focused on Tim Deshaun Taylor because officials believed the Quan's account to be too thorough to be ignored by police. The case of the missing person was reframed as a murder investigation. In 2011, Timothy robbed a McDonald's with a gun. He completed an 18-month probationary period. Nevertheless, federal authorities eventually accused him of the same armed robbery to put him in jail and give him the chance to investigate his relationship with Brittanee. Timothy angrily denied involvement in the crime, telling the authorities that he had never seen Quan before. In an attempt to prove this in March of 2018, Timothy agreed to undergo a lie detector test, but he failed. Detectives abandoned that line of inquiry after concluding many months later that Taquan's narrative was nothing more than a fabricated confession. They concentrated instead on Raymond Moody, a convicted child sex offender who was freed from jail in 2004 after serving a 21-year sentence as a suspect because he had not yet been ruled out. Since relocating to Georgetown, he had been suspected of several crimes, including the 2005 disappearance of Crystal Souls, a mother of 28 years, but he had never been legally charged. The detectives learned this when Moody and his girlfriend Angel Voss visited the Myrtle Beach region in April 2009. To add to that, this wasn't the first time the police had heard his name mentioned in this case. In 2011, Angel spoke with investigators and disclosed that she was concerned that her boyfriend might have been connected to Brittanee's disappearance. Because of Raymond Moody's prior convictions for child sex offenses, Angel revealed to the detectives that she thought he would pose a threat. But despite his prior transgressions, Raymond Moody continued to be with Angel as his girlfriend, and investigators spent the ensuing years looking for fresh leads and compiling evidence against the now 76-year-old Moody. Angel, who was then a nurse at the MUSC Medical Center, consented to meet with Hank Harrison, the head of the FBI task force, along with 2 other FBI special agents and an intelligence analyst at the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office in 2021. Angel was questioned about the events of April 25th during the hour-long interview, with the detectives pressuring her to share where she and Raymond were that night.
I don't know, like I said, a few years have gone by, things, people, I know, people like that don't always change, I know that. And I know there's always that tendency that they can do it again, I know that.
After becoming offended by the accusations that are being made, Angel leaves. Angel comes back and starts to display her hand after Garrison calmed her down outside the sheriff's office. After receiving confirmation from the agent, Angel continues, recalling Raymond's return on April 26, 2009, when he had scratches on his face. She was unsure of how he acquired them and had asked him at the time if perhaps she had caused them during a drunken altercation. Detectives revealed that they had evidence to support the theory that Angel's phone and credit card were left at the Ocean Boulevard North Myrtle Beach area around the time Brittanee vanished. Angel told investigators that on April 25th, she had gotten off work early and met up with Moody to swap cars before going their separate ways. Despite Angel's continuous denials, she offered the possibility that her phone and credit card might have been in the trunk Moody was operating. Raymond had left their home at around 1 a.m., and according to Angel, he returned about 30 minutes later. As the interview ended, Angel was more receptive and advised the detectives that she could press Moody for information, even suggesting that the house be bugged. She went too far. After the interview, Angel returned to their house, and the FBI surveillance picked up on some odd activities there over the ensuing hours. In and out of the home and through the automobile, Raymond was spotted acting as though he was seeking something. Throughout the interview, Angel made hints that she could still have the phone she was using. Together with Moody's erratic behavior, Brittanee vanished. The following day, a warrant was utilized to search the residence, and several electronic devices, including 3 phones, 2 tablets, a disposable camera, and numerous different storage devices, were taken into custody. When Raymond Moody met with the detectives, his testimony radically differed from what Angel had told them just a few days earlier. He was prepared to make a complete confession after 13 years, since he was aware of the mounting evidence against him. Knowing Angel would return any moment, Moody revealed to detectives how he had hidden her body at a boat landing. Following his admission, Moody took the detectives to where he claimed to have interred Brittanee all those years earlier. Moody led the detectives through the area, pointing out the locations of the woman's sexual assault and death. After issuing a search warrant for the premises, detectives spent 2 days. The following day, after excavating the scene following his confession on May 4th, he met with investigators and his attorney to provide a complete statement, repeating all he had stated the day before. The investigators carry on with toe push Moody here. After 5 days, Angel and her attorney showed up at the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office, where Angel provided a proper statement that would not be admissible in court. Here, Angel modified what she had originally said to coincide with Moody's account of what happened that evening. Despite altering her account while protected by the offer agreement, Moody's account of events was similar to Angel's. A second search of the area was carried out, and they soon discovered what they were looking for, because both testimonies described how Moody had returned to the place to bury Brittanee. A nose ring, contacts, long hair, and human remains were discovered 4 feet beneath the ground surface. The Drexel family received the heartbreaking news that it was Brittanee 2 days after the remains were sent for forensic dental and DNA identification. The police said at a news conference that the remains discovered on October 19, 2022 had been recognized as those of the missing teen. How do you feel about the dramatic tale? Leave your answers in the comments section below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'll see you guys soon.